I just realized I made a coffee to drink throughout this video and haven't taken a single sip, so cool. Today I'm going to talk all about money and how much we spent in our first month of van life. I watched a heap of these videos in preparation for like leaving on our trip, so why not, you know, just give back. So I'm gonna run through the different categories we have, how much we spent, what like, and break down those categories a bit. I do actually have like a proper budget, so I'll talk about that, what I budgeted for versus what we actually spent. And if you guys want to see a separate video on my our actual budget and like how much we allocate for everything, and also I do use an app to keep track of things day to day. So if you want to know stuff about that, leave a comment down below and let me know, and I can definitely do that video. I think I really want to anyway, but it just will depend on how quickly I do it. I know Brett should probably be here for this video, but we are currently in Canberra and he is working full time, so it's just little old me in the van every day. So yeah, what I'm going to talk about today covers 5 weeks. So we left Tassie on the 28th of January and I finished this up 2nd of March, kind of, just so it's like rounded it off to 5 weeks, just to make it easier. But basically the 28th to the 28th is what I'm covering in this video. So that includes some things that we bought for the boat, which is just like snacks and travel pills and stuff like that. There's one category here that we are way under that we shouldn't be, and that is because for the first 2 weeks we didn't have to make a payment on something that we do have to pay weekly now. So I am going to stop babbling and let's get started. So the way I do my budget is, it's hard because our expenses are by the week, but then like most bills are like monthly, so it gets a bit tricky. So what I budgeted for a 5-week period is $3,000.60. We actually spent $2,563.23. So we didn't spend about $440. So now that you've got the big figures, let's break it down. I've got 5 categories here. You could break these down even more, I just don't want to complicate things, so I've just kept it the way it is. So the first category is bills. So this includes things like Brett's got a loan that is mainly for his car that obviously we need, phone bills, what else is there? Car insurance, just like bank fees. I still had an afterpay left over, just stuff like that, just anything that is like a repayment or a bill of like our phones and car insurance and stuff like that. We spent $1,065.69. I'll be honest, most of that is phone bills because Brett owns his phone outright and has like a really cheap prepaid plan that gives him a lot of data. Unfortunately, I'm locked into a contract still, which I'm trying to pay out. I'm just waiting for my car that's back in Tassie to sell. Hopefully it sells soon, so I can pay out my phone and go on the same plan as him, because that will save us so much money. I've tried to talk to them to get them to like lower my thing, because you know I've been a customer for a long time, but they just don't want to help a sister out. So yeah, a lot of that is just phone bills, and then Brett's loan once we got later on in the month. So we didn't spend the full $1,300 that I'd allocated just because of Brett's loan that we didn't have to pay for the first 2 weeks because he'd already paid it in advance, basically. Category number 2 is the biggest like living expense, and that is fuel. Now we have a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. It's got 2 tanks and we fill them both up every week. I've allocated $150 a week for this. It is diesel, if that means anything to you guys, not petrol, it is diesel. And we've traveled 2,500 Ks roughly to the point of the end of this month. So $150 a week for 5 weeks, $750, except we only spent $676. So the first week we spent $150.01, and then every week after that, like it depends how much we drive obviously, but it's usually like around the $130 to $140 mark. Number 3 is groceries. This is actually the only category that we went over budget with, and we went over budget by $3.20. This is probably the one where people are like, how do you do that? Our budget for groceries is $50 a week for 2 people, so $25 per person a week. Because of that, because I budgeted so little, and I have done this, you know, on purpose because it was the easiest place for me and basically the only place that we could reduce our living expenses. And we both, you know, like I don't eat a lot, and Brett does and doesn't. It's weird. But yeah, because of that, we don't eat the healthiest. We have things like, you know, 2-minute noodles and really cheap pasta, and you know, we splash out, like we have nutritional yeast. That's like our big thing. Like the weeks that we have to buy nutritional yeast, which is every fortnight, groceries are very tight because it costs $8 for a pack, and that only lasts us 2 weeks. So far we're doing pretty good. Like some weeks we're generally hover around the $50 mark. I don't think we've been under it like once or twice, but then the other weeks we've been over it. So I'm still happy with the $50 a week. I think it's a good benchmark to try and get below it, but like if you go a little bit over, then like what are you gonna do? So yeah, we've budgeted $50 a week for groceries, and so far it's been pretty good. We've only gone over by $3.20 in 5 weeks, so that, I mean, you can't complain about that. Category number 4 is accommodation. So we well, because I deal with all the money, budgeted to stay in a caravan park 1 night a week, and that was purely to like top up with water, do laundry, have proper showers, and use the power basically. And we have done that. We've stayed at a caravan park 1 night every week, and it's really refreshing. It's just like, oh my god, it's like living in a 5-star hotel. I budgeted $40 a week for that because, you know, I was looking around and that seemed to be the average, like between 35 and 45 for like a decent caravan park. Now, so across the 5 weeks we spent $188, so we were $12 under budget, which is pretty good. So obviously right now we're staying at a caravan park, and we'll be staying at another caravan park for the whole time that we're here, just because Brett's working in Canberra, so there's no free camps around. And also it's just, you know, while we're here, like I'm gonna be here alone, I'm gonna be working, like I need power basically that I know is not going to run out, and I can just charge my laptops and charge everything. So while we're staying in Canberra, our budget is a lot different, but we're also earning money. So yeah, but yeah, with accommodation I budgeted 1 night a week at $40, and we went way under that. $40 I think is a good amount to budget for a caravan park, because some we've stayed at, we paid, I think one we paid $30 and another one we paid $50. So it was like, depending on the area you're in, depends how expensive they are. And also like if you go with a, say like a Big Four or that's the only one I know, like a chain, it gets more expensive. Where if you stay with a more independent one, it might, the amenities and stuff might not be as new, but you're paying way less. The last category number 5, is extra, or pocket money, or spending money, or just extra. So for this I budgeted or allow $100 a week, so that would equal $500 over 5 weeks, and we only spent $379. So we're way under with that, and I'm so happy. That includes things like alcohol. If we buy some, it was Brett's birthday and he got sent some money, so that kept him going with alcohol for a while. Things like going to the op shops and buying like clothes and books and stuff, like activity things. So like Brett buys some fishing stuff, or I buy like I wanted to get into drawing, so we bought like a notepad and pencils and stuff like that, just things like that. And if we ever are somewhere where we want to do like an activity, the extra, it'll come out of the extra money. Yeah, it also includes like random stuff like laundry and pegs. I realized we need more pegs, so I had to buy pegs. I also take our toiletries out of the extra account just because we don't have like that many. When I say toiletries, I mean like shampoo, conditioner, baby wipes, deodorant, toothpaste, like that kind of stuff. I generally take that out of the extra because we actually don't buy that at supermarkets. We try to buy it at like discount stores like the Reject Shop, just because it's way cheaper. So yeah, that is how much we spent on our first 5 weeks, first month of van life. Obviously the next few weeks or 2 months will be very different because we're living in a caravan park. I'm really happy with how we've gone. I mean, obviously I wish our bills was way less, but there's not much we can do about that until my car back in Tassie sells. So if you live in Tassie and you want a 2010 Subaru Forester, hit me up. thank you for watching. Like I said, if you want to see a separate video on our budget and the app I use and how I do it, then leave a comment down below and give the video a like, and I'll definitely do that as soon as possible. And yeah, if you want to check out my Instagram for daily updates, that's at beceldrup, and I'll see you guys in the next one.